Hey everyone, welcome back to Educational Story. I'm Angel Priya. In this video Arabian Nights story, improve your English speaking. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already and hit that notification bell to stay updated on all our adventures. Chapter 1. The Old Man with the Two Black Dogs. Long time back, ours was a happy and prosperous family. We were three brothers who loved each other very much. In due time, our old father became very ill. He left for heaven and willed each of us 1,000 gold dinars. We were clever, so we invested in various shops and soon became well-to-do merchants. One day, my eldest brother had the idea of expanding his trade connections in other kingdoms. He decided to travel to other lands across the sea for this purpose. He then sold all his shops, luxury items, and the house to get some money. For buying a variety of goods, he set sail in a beautiful trade ship. Nearly a year went by, but we heard nothing from him. One afternoon, as I sat fanning myself at the shop, a beggar approached me. He was looking very weak. He was barely covered in tattered clothes. I picked a silver coin from my pocket and gave it to him. Seeing this, the poor beggar burst out in tears. "Oh, what fate!" he cried bitterly. "A brother is giving another alms in pity." I gave him a second look. Suddenly, I recognized him to be my eldest brother. I consoled him and took him home. After a warm bath and some delicious hot lunch, my brother told me his sad tale. He said that he could not earn as much as he had invested in his new ventures. The heavy losses had made him poor, and he had reached back home with great difficulty. I had by then earned 2,000 gold dinars in my business, so I gave 1,000 gold dinars to my eldest brother. I encouraged him to start a new business. Some months later, my second brother decided to seek foreign lands to expand his business. I narrated our eldest brother's example to him, but he insisted on going for trading overseas. He soon joined a caravan that was ready to leave for a foreign land. He, too, went with many hopes and a lot of goods. For a year, I heard no news of his business ventures. When a year went by, one fine morning he arrived at my doorstep much in the same state as my elder brother. He told me that his caravan had been looted by bandits and he lost everything. Once again, I lent my 1,000 dinars to my other brother, too. He was happy to begin his business again. Soon both my brothers did well in their ventures and prospered. We lived happily and together again. One fine morning, both my brothers came to me and said, "Brother, all three of us must go on a long journey to expand our business. We'll trade together and amass wealth." I refused because I had seen my brothers becoming penniless after such adventurous business trips. But they persisted. After refusing their request for nearly 5 years, I gave in. After making necessary arrangements, the three of us bought grand goods to sell. My brothers spent all their money to buy the goods. I, thus, took 6,000 dinars that I had and gave them 1,000 dinars each. I kept 1,000 dinars for my use. Then I dug a safe hole in my house and buried the 3,000 dinars that I was left with. Then we loaded the goods on a large ship and set sail. Nearly 2 months after sailing, we anchored at a port. We made a lot of money by trading there. When we got ready to leave, a beautiful but poor woman approached me. She bowed to me and kissed my hand. Then she said, "Sir, please be kind enough to accept me as your wife. I have nobody to care for me and nowhere to stay." I was taken aback. I said, "Dear woman, I don't even know you. How can you expect me to marry a stranger?" The woman pleaded tearfully and persuaded me to take her as my wife. She promised to be loyal and loving, and soon we were married after the required arrangements were made. As we set sail, she took on the role of a caring wife. She was soft-spoken, hard-working, and always ready to serve me or help my brothers. I was very happy to have her as a wife. My happiness was not favored by my brothers, who grew jealous day by day. Their resentment took shape of a plot to kill me and my wife. Thus, one night, as my wife and I were in deep sleep, my two brothers threw us aboard. My wife, who was a fairy, used her powers to save both of us. Soon I found ourselves on an island. Then my wife said, "Dear, I am a fairy. I married you for I saw a kind-hearted man who would be a fit husband for me. You have taken good care of me, but I am very hurt and angry at the way your ungrateful brothers have treated you. I'll punish them by sinking their ship." I was horrified. "Please don't do that. After all, they are my brothers. Let's forgive and forget." But nothing could stop my angry fairy wife. She declared that her fury would end only after she avenged herself. Then she chanted some magic words. I stood before my house in my hometown. My fairy wife was by my side. I opened the door to welcome her into her new home. I saw two sinister black dogs just inside the door. I was surprised. "Dear, I don't know where these black dogs came from. I never had any pets either," I explained. "I know, dear," my fairy wife said. "These black dogs are your own ungrateful brothers. I changed them into the black dogs to punish them. Now you can treat them any way you wish. I must take your leave now. The spell cast by me will last for 10 years. You can contact me after that time." My fairy wife told me where her home was and vanished into thin air. Now 10 years have passed. I am leading the black dogs in search of my fairy wife. Now, oh, Genie, you must not have ever heard of such a wondrous, unbelievable tale. I ask you to grant a third of the merchant's life in return of this tale. The genie agreed again. Then the third old man said, "I'll tell you a stranger and fantastic story of all." He then told such a tale full of unbelievable events and wondrous magic that the genie declared to spare a third of the merchant's punishment. Thus, the genie departed. The merchant and the three men then went on their journeys. The merchant reached home and was received happily by his family. Then he told the strange tale of how he was freed. Chapter 2. 3 Brothers. Once upon a time there lived 3 brothers. They were Ali, Hazim, and Khail. Before their father died, he asked his sons to divide the wealth into 3 equal shares. After their father's death, they divided the wealth into 3 parts. Ali started a business in the same place. Hazim and Khail left the place to seek knowledge and learn from the opportunities. Ali's business improved very well, and he had all the facilities of luxury and lived happily. One day, he found Layla, a wise maiden who had magical powers. They got married and lived happily. She led a loving life, serving her husband. Ali's brothers visited all the places in the kingdom. Their part of wealth was spent up, so they became beggars. One day they came to Ali's shop and begged. Ali took some coins and went near the beggars. When he was ready to give the coins, he recognized their voices. Ali was shocked at their look. "What happened to you?" said Ali in a stammering voice. "We lost whatever you gave us." "Oh, brother, our business failed because of our carelessness," they confessed. Ali said, "Don't worry, brothers. What we have now is ours. Come on. We shall go to our home." They went to Ali's house with a wicked plan to kill their brother Ali at any cost. Layla also looked after them very well. But she found out their wicked plan to kill Ali through her magical power. Ali gave them each 1,000 gold coins and said, "You start some business here and come up in life." Hazim said, "We have a plan to go east. You also come along with us. You bring Layla also. There we can earn more and shall live together." Khalil also accepted the idea of Hazim. Ali and Layla accepted their idea. But Layla knew the cunning plan of Hazim and Khalil. All of them set off on a voyage to the east. The two wanted to kill Ali in the voyage itself. Layla watched them carefully with her magical power. Hazim and Khalil pushed Ali into the sea. Layla followed them alertly. She took Ali to the ship again with a rope. When they returned home, She with her magical power had cast spell on the brothers and sent them to their house as watchdogs at the gate. When Ali and Layla returned home, Ali saw 2 dogs in the gate tied with a rope. Layla said, "The dogs are your wicked brothers. I turned them into dogs." Ali became sad and said, "Please forgive them and make them as men again." But Layla said, "Now it is not possible because the spell is for a limited years. Until then, I cannot change them." So they lived as dogs for 10 years and then were changed as men. Then they felt sorry for their behavior and lived with Ali helping him in the business. Chapter 3. Banished son saves his brothers. In Arabia there was a prosperous kingdom. It was ruled by a sultan who had 3 queens. But no one bore him a child. The sultan was worried as he had no heir. One night when he was sleeping, a good fairy appeared before him in his dream and said, "If you give the seeds of the pomegranate to your queens, they will give birth to sons to you." The sultan woke up suddenly. "Is it true? Why not I try?" he thought. The next morning, the sultan gave the 3 queens pomegranates. All the 3 queens ate the pomegranates. Only 2 queens gave birth to children. The 3rd one did not become pregnant. So the sultan got angry on her and banished her to the forest nearby. But after some months, the 3rd queen also gave birth to a handsome child in the forest. She named him as Ahmad. As days and years passed, Ahmad grew young and he became a good fighter. He got training in warfare and improved his knowledge. Once he asked his mother, "Who is my father?" His mother replied that the sultan of the kingdom was his father and that he hated her as she had no child then. "You don't worry. I will go to my father and win his heart and then tell him who I am," Ahmad said. So he decided to join the army. He won the heart of the sultan by doing courageous deeds. He won many battles for the sultan. So the sultan gave him a high position in his army. The 2 princesses, his brothers, became jealous of Ahmad. So they argued with his father not to give more importance to Ahmad. One day the 2 princes went for hunting in the forest. They didn't turn up late in the evening. The sultan got worried and sent soldiers in all directions. But they returned without the prince. So Sultan asked Ahmad to find his 2 princes at any cost. Ahmad went out in search of the 2 princes. He went through the thick forest and thorny bushes, and on the way he had to fight with many wild animals. In the forest he happened to see a young beautiful maiden sitting under a tree. She was weeping and her face looked terrified. He moved near her and asked, "Who are you? Why are you here?" She replied, "I am the princess of Cairo Kingdom. A wicked wizard captured me, imprisoned me here, and guards me." Ahmad said to her, "Oh princess, you don't worry. I will fight with him and free you from here." She asked him to go away because he was cruel and would capture him also. Suddenly he heard a strange noise behind him. So he hid himself behind a tree and waited. The wizard came with anger and asked the maiden, "Did anybody come here?" Suddenly Ahmad sprinkled some magic water and killed him with his sword. He said to the maiden, "Come quick. We shall move fast." But the young maiden didn't move from there. Many others are in the nearby cave as captives. "You free them also," she pleaded. Ahmad ran fast to the cave and freed all inside the cave. Among them, he found the 2 princes, his 2 brothers. He became very happy and said, "Your father, Sultan, sent me for you. Let us go quickly and make him happy." When Ahmad came back with the 2 princes, the Sultan became relieved of fear. The 2 princes said, "We are so grateful to you, Ahmad. We were jealous of you, but you have saved us. Here are your 3 sons, O Sultan." Ahmad cried in a loud voice, "Who is the 3rd 7?" The Sultan said in wonder. Ahmad said, In front of you, your majesty. O father, I am the third son of you. I am the son of the third queen that you banished. I was born to you in the forest. Sultan looked puzzled for a while and said, I was hasty and merciless. I am ashamed of myself. Forgive me, son. Where's your mother, my third queen? Just then the third queen reached the palace and joined the Sultan's family. Ahmad narrated all that had happened in the forest. He had brought the Princess of Cairo with him. He told them that he wanted to marry her with their consent. Soon they got married and lived happily for a long time. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.